And welcome back to Survivor Girls Sunday, everybody. I know it's been a minute, so we're going to go over a little bit of that stuff here tonight, and I'm glad that you guys are joining me. First and foremost, though, as always, I'm going to say Happy New Year, and also, I am not a licensed physician or a therapist or anything like that. I am just here to simply share my story and hopes that it will help and uplift others. So let's get started. It's been a minute. I don't even know how long it's been since I've been here. I only know that my last episode was episode 52, and then life got crazy. So here I am, and I'm thankful to be here, and I'm so glad that you guys are joining me tonight. I have a lot of different things to talk about. I mean, we have to cover the end of the year into the new year and everything that's been going on, and kind of where I'm at with everything. So if you guys don't mind listening to me talk about myself for a little bit, then we'll get into some other stuff. Still looking to have other guests on for this year. I'm starting to book some very cool people, some international guests as well, which will be a first for Survivor Girl. So I'm very excited about that. And we're going to talk about some new things that we haven't touched on before. We will touch base with some of the older guests that have been on and find out where they're at and how they've been doing. And also, I wanted to give a shout out to Crystal LeFay for the Survivor Circle that we did a while back. She just reposted that and is putting it out there to help others as well. I hope that you guys had a chance to check that out. It's on YouTube on Survivor Girl Podcast. You can find it there. I can put a link up later on after I'm done with the show so that you guys can go and check it out. Just a reminder though, a lot of the topics that we talk about, not only on this show, but on the Warrior Circle are a little bit raw. There's a lot of emotion, there's a lot of feelings, and there's a lot of triggers that can happen during the episodes. We talk about a variety of all kinds of things. So, let's see, where do I start? As everybody knows, I work at Bronner's, and I'm looking for my live feed here. I work at Bronner's. I want to get on here so I can see if you guys are talking to me right now. Okay, so you're looking as well. Are we out of oh, there we go. I found it. I know how to work this stuff, I promise. Okay, here we go. So, anyway, as everybody knows, I work at Bronner's throughout the season. I don't know if I've ever really talked about it here. I know I've talked about it on Don't Make This Weird before. So, the big thing is we have a lot of hours that we have. 10 to 15 hours I was working, and I was working on Sundays. There was a great deal of online orders because a lot of people were at home. They wanted to put a lot of orders in, get them sent out. So that took a little bit, and we were really pushing through and kept on working. We got a lot of orders done, and I was able to work a little bit longer this season, which was very cool and a blessing. And, I had to take a little break. I was not feeling like I was giving you guys enough content. I didn't feel like I was prepared for the show, and I needed to take a little bit of a break because I was working on Sundays as well. By the time I got out of work, it was way past the show. So almost 7 days a week, working 10 to 15 hours, I wasn't able to do that. And I apologize to all of you that were waiting for me to be back on the show, but I am here now and I'm back, and I hope that you guys were able to check into the old episodes and, kind of help you through whatever it was that you're going through if the topics were there to help you. So that's part of it. It was crazy. I had a lot of things going on, not only because of being busy. I started to get worn down. We've talked about the adrenal fatigue before on other episodes and things that I've experienced and gone through. And that was really starting to get to me, and pushing so many hours, getting up, and I still was doing Don't Make This Weird because it was easier for me to make it to those recordings, episodes, lives, and then also working on jewelry for Dragonfly Boutique at Hometown Handmade. Just a lot of things. Like, Christmas is crazy busy, and especially if you've ever worked retail or if you've ever made things for Christmas to sell, it gets very crazy. So it was a very prosperous holiday season as far as Dragonfly Boutique stuff and Hometown Handmade, with it being new. we did very well. The store did excellent, and I'm looking forward to continue to be a part of it. So, with all of that being said, I started to get a little bit worn down, as you can imagine. I started to not I would take things to work, but then it was really super easy to start getting into eating sugar and different things. I started doing the baking at home, and that began to get a little bit hard to keep on staying out of the stuff and making goodies for everybody else. And that's not an excuse, it's just something that happened. So that sugar, I believe, was also coming into play and helping me have the up and the down and kind of all over the place with moods and sleeping. And because I remember as a kid, I my mom used to send a note to school telling me, or telling the teachers, that I was not allowed to have chocolate milk because it would make me hyper. I don't know if that's still the case today, but I feel like the sugar does boost me up and then knocks me out. So I'm trying my best to steer away from it as much as I possibly can. Everybody talks about the new year, new me kind of thing. I don't feel like I need to be a new me. I just feel like I need to work on the things that I haven't been and I've been ignoring. So that's an important thing. And there's a lot of different things that come into play with that. I'm working on my spiritual, my health and healing, my mental, physical, all of that stuff. I know that's a big basket to carry. But, as I get older, I feel like if I don't look into these things and start working on them, it's just going to get worse from here, I believe. So, when you don't take care of the most important thing, your body, to be able to breathe, to be able to function, to be able to feel good, that's where we start running into a lot of problems. But here's the thing, I've talked about this before, and having food addiction and cravings and different things. So that, into putting that into play, that does mess with a whole bunch of other things with your system, your body. It's processing these different things, different chemicals, all that stuff. Now, I am not a nutritionist, but I've had a lot of experience throughout my life of different foods that will either boost me or bring me down, things that that aren't exactly very healthy. I've been a no stranger to that throughout my life. I've ate a lot of junk food, a lot of sugar. I used to drink a lot of pop. I smoked. There was a whole bunch of things that I did growing up into my teens and into my adulthood that I am paying for now, my friends. And it does. It plays into your mental health as well. The not sleeping, maybe because too much caffeine, too much sugar. I don't really know. I'm still trying to figure out all of these different things and continuing through. Now that my season is over and I have more free time a little bit, because I still do a lot of things, I'm starting to work on getting my health in order, things that need to be taken care of for me. And some of that means, we talked about self care before, but some of that means doing a little bit less of the social media business, trying to stay off of there as much. I'm sure you guys all know what I'm talking about. We don't have to go over that. Pretty much, I see these posts about I cleaned out my friends list, and if you're still here, blah blah blah. I don't give a warning. I kind of feel like I'm to that point where I feel like social media takes up a whole bunch of our private lives. We feel like we have to share it with everybody. We have to put it out here. We have to the newest next best thing. This is the my food that I made and it's better than yours. And this is a weird thing with social media, I feel. I'm not, I understand that's a good way to keep connected with some people that you don't get to see all the time. I've made some amazing friends online that I would never have met otherwise. So it's kind of a balance there of good and bad with social media, internet, and all that. But I've come to learn that if I need to take a step back, I take a step back. If I need to take a breather, I'm going to take a breather because that's what I know I need. I do not worry anymore about what it means to other people. Obviously, I'm not mean. I have a lot of compassion still. I care if you guys message, I will read your message. I'm a very good listener. Sometimes I don't have the words for whatever it is that you're going through to help you with that, but I am a good listener and I do care. But I also have to care about my mental state and my health as well. And that's kind of where I started this year. It was, all right, I'm gonna go through my list on there, and if there's things on there that I just don't feel like I need in my life, then I will take care of it. A lot of people are not the same people that we knew in the beginning before all last year or whatever. We're seeing a lot of different things, but again, not going to get into too much of that. We all know what's going on, where we're at, and I just feel like, okay, if someone I can't handle their post, if it's bothering me, if it's flaring up my anxiety, my depression, any of that, I will either snooze or bye bye. It's just like that. And don't feel guilty about it. If you have to do that, you have to take care of yourself. So I come to find out I had like over 1,000 getting, it was pretty up there, and now I'm under 1,000 and less. So it's interesting. I'm making sure that I'm taking care of that part of it. Mental health is very important. If you don't have your mental health in order, if you're not taking care of that, if you're not getting enough sleep to nurture that, it can really mess up a lot of things. Mental health, anxiety, all of that can be lack of sleep. It can be all kinds of things. Your mood changes. There was times when I felt like it's not like I was losing my mind, but I felt like I was definitely not the person that I know I am. And that was part of why I'm like, okay, I can't handle all of the stuff that's going on, and that's okay. I don't have to. I don't have to. I looked at the list of everybody that was online, and I went, wait a minute, I don't even know who this person is. Granted, being online and being a social media presence with YouTube and Twitch and everything that we're doing, having the media company and everything, you do meet a lot of people. You don't personally know them, and a lot of people do get added to our Facebooks and everything else, Instagram, whatever it is that we're doing to promote and let you guys know that we're here to help. But so I started going through and I'm like, I don't even know who this person is. I know a lot of people like to be sneaky and get in there with their MLM groups and whatever it is they're doing, and I don't even know who they are. And I'm like, I used to. Okay, yeah. But I went through and I read some of the stuff and I was like, aha, I know where you're from. Nah, we're not friends. I don't know why I have this list. And I feel like the smaller I go with the list, I feel a little bit better. They talk about all these different things that you can do to bring down your anxiety and whatnot, meditation, yoga, all that stuff, which is great. I love it. I love doing that stuff. Being physically fit, working on your physical state is amazing. You start to do things that you don't even realize that you could do. What a great feeling. But we're talking about the mental part of this, getting your mental health in order. And part of that I feel is also going through maybe your emails and getting rid of stuff. How many emails? I don't know at this point. I gotta say I'm like probably about 5,000 or more emails in my mailbox. Why? I don't know. 1,012 pictures, I swear, and some of them are the ground, the ceiling, whatever. I'm a great photographer when it comes to pocket pictures. And so it's like going through and kind of decluttering that stuff as well. And it's a really weird but great feeling. It's like, oh, okay, I did something. I accomplished something, and I don't feel as much stress and pressure from the social media stuff. So, like I said, it can be a great blessing. We're able to keep in contact with people that are far away, some of our family members, our loved ones, which has been awesome. I've been able to keep in touch with some of my family members throughout everything. We did the Zoom stuff, and we got to talk and play games and stuff together, which was cool. I feel like that is an awesome thing. But some of the other stuff, I'm not interested in, and that's okay. I am okay with saying no. I come to learn that. I think I've talked about this a little bit before, but over this holiday season, I come to realize that I am a very, 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 very number one enemy to myself when it comes to accepting and saying, yes, 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 I can do that. Yes, I can do that. And then I feel horrible when I have to say, yeah, I can't do that. I'm sorry. I committed to something, or I'm late because I had this, and this. And that's another thing that I understand that I do, and I'm trying to work on. So, with that being said, it was having to cut back and go, okay, I can say no, and it is healthy to say no. It's okay. The world is not gonna stop because I said no, I can't do something and can't commit. A good example was after my season was over, they asked for us to come in and do inventory if we can, and I blatantly said I can't commit to that, so I'm gonna say no. And that is now my new favorite line, and I feel better for it. If I can't commit to it, I'm gonna say no. I think that somebody would appreciate that more than me saying, yes, I can do that, and then going, no, I can't do all of this. What am I thinking? I'm quick to say that. I was quick to say that, but now I'm like, I can't commit. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to say no. And you don't have to get an explanation. I think we've talked a little bit about this before, but now I'm going, okay, now I'm doing it and I'm practicing it even more. And it feels amazing to be able to go, can't commit to that. I'm sorry, no. So that's part of the process of switching into this year. I don't want to make resolutions. I don't want to do that. I feel like when you make a resolution, and it's okay if you do, please don't ever feel like if I say I'm not going to do something that you're not doing the right thing for you. That's important. Just know that. I will talk about all kinds of different things, and I might have a different view, and you may have a different view as well. And that's okay, because that's what you need to do. However, I just feel like, moving forward, if I can't do it, I can't do it. I can say that, and I can be proud of myself for saying no instead of just missing the boat and not being able to do it. I feel like more people would be respectful of you saying no up front, not giving a big explanation why, because you don't have to tell everybody why. Just continue to do what you have to do for your peace of mind. And that's kind of where I'm at with right now. Resolutions, we were talking about that, getting into that, and I kind of sideswiped there again. But resolutions, to me, I feel like we're all gung ho usually when you stick to resolution and you get into it, and then all of a sudden, couple weeks, couple months, whatever it is, it kind of goes down. I know from experience though that if you have the intent and you really want to do something, you want to change something, you want to be better, you figure out a plan. For me, it's writing it down. I need a physical list in front of me. A lot of people swear by digital. My fiance is one of them. And, that's good. He's keeping track of what he needs to keep track of by, doing it digitally. I need to write it down. I need to have it in my hand. However, that can cause me to leave it behind. Usually, with him with digital, he's got his phone in his pocket. He never leaves home unless he forgets it somewhere. But generally that happens. That's something else that happens in our home. But, physically, I like to write it down. I can see it. I love checklist. If I have stuff that I want to do for a day, I love checklist. I used to start out, last year, I started out with a Mead notebook. You guys know what those are. Is it the composition books? The black and white. I started out with one of those last year, and I thought, okay. I used to food journal, but I'll get in a little bit more into that in a minute. Please help remind me. Tony's here too. He's good at helping me remember stuff. So, but I got the first book and I started writing, the date at the top, and it wasn't a journal. It was a list of things that I wanted to accomplish in that day, and I had these really fantastic Sharpie highlighters that someone had given me, all kinds of colors, which was very cool to me because that's fun. And I would sit there and I'd pick a color or a couple colors for the day, and I'd cross off all the stuff that I would get. In the beginning, when I started that, though, if I didn't get my list done, I had anxiety. I was like, I got it. What if I can't get to it tomorrow? Okay, what if you can't? You can only do what you can do in this time, in the present. That's all you can do. Big lesson for me, because I am very good at dwelling on the past, wondering about the future, what's going to happen, but missing out on living in the moments. And I guess that's part of where I'm going with this year, learning how to live more in the moments. Am I going to be perfect at it? No. There's 40 years of all of that. There's a lot piled up there of 40 years, and to just change it overnight, it's not going to happen. So be kind to yourself about that as well. So I got the book out, I get the highlighters, I've got a ton of them, and honestly, I filled up 3 of those books. and I was doing every single day. And, I'd write the time or the date, and I'd get my list and I'd check it all off. Yeah, I was cleaning and I found 3 books that I actually stuck to, and I did every day. I did my devotions, I did my prayers, I did, just whether I call it creative movement because exercise sounds stupid, sounds dangerous, and something that I don't want to do. I tried to switch that around and make it sound better. I think a lot of that too is how your mind perceives words and different things, like switching it up and changing things around can make it seem like it's a better idea some of the time. So, but I filled up those books and I would recommend doing something like that. It was fun. I didn't have a bullet journal or anything, but if you are a list taker and you want to accomplish things, that's a cool way to do it. Yes, it's paper. I don't really like to use that much paper, but I did, and it's because I am a physical person. I need to see that stuff out. For me, that's how it works great for me. But if you don't want to do that, paperless is a great way. Another app I want to tell you though about foregoing paperless, which works amazing in our household, is called Our Groceries. You can make all kinds of different lists on there. It doesn't have to be groceries. We have, trips that we want to take. We have, some of the first things that I got to do since, weight loss surgery, cool thing, like kayaking and different stuff. Like I put that on my list. But we do have the grocery list as well. Appointments if we have to. Whatever. It's a really cool thing. It's called Our Groceries, and it goes between me and Adam. So if he puts something on the grocery list, I can see it. So if I'm at the store and I need to pick something up or he forgot last minute and I have that up, which we use it all the time, I go, oh, okay, I need to grab that. And then you just click it and it goes down underneath and it saves all the different ones. It's helped us out a lot and it helps us remember because, yes, I love to write physical notes. I forget them a lot of the time though. So for me to do the list at home and have like a thing that I want to do throughout the day, I thought, okay, that's perfect. But for that kind of stuff, that works out great. It's something that is a helpful tool. And I find too, as I level up, I forget a lot more things, which is okay. I spent a lot of last year worrying about getting older and different things like that, and it does not do any good whatsoever. Like I said, well, yeah, obviously taking care of your health. Tony's over there going like this, taking care of your health. I found too that journaling really did help out a lot too. Um, that was another thing I kind of wanted to touch base on because when we've talked about, my mom passing away and stuff, a friend or a cousin of mine sent me a memo book like that. And she said, whenever you are having a hard time, write a letter to, your mom, whatever it is that you're feeling, whatever it is you're doing. So I I started doing that and it did help out a lot. Sometimes it feels kind of weird when you're just like, hey, mom, how's it going? And you're just talking to yourself. It just looks like you're, so writing it down, for me, it's easy to get words out on paper than it is to actually talk, which is amazing how I can do this show and other podcasts. But, sometimes it is easy to just get it all out by writing. And that was a cool suggestion. Unfortunately, as we get older, we see a lot more people are passing on and leaving us and whatever. And it's hard to deal with that. They don't really prepare us on how to grieve and how to, because everybody grieves differently. I don't think you could pinpoint it anyway. But that helped out a lot. Journaling helps me out a ton. I can work through a lot of different things that I'm thinking and trying to get through. And since doing that and coming into the new year, I started going back with my therapist because through the season, it's very hard to get anything done because I could go in at 7:30 and get out at 10 o'clock at night. And, by that time, no therapists open, different things. And so that it makes it difficult. However, I've learned from this past season for next season. I've learned that the seasonal depression hits pretty hard. Working a lot, not seeing everybody that I love, all the different things were starting to really hit me hard, and I felt really emotional. Like I wanted to cry a lot. It kind of started though back when my cat Jibby passed away. That hit me harder than I thought. Like I'm tough. yes, I'd cry about it. I was upset about it, but and I kept on telling myself, I'm okay. Things are okay. Like I can get through this. And then, if you don't focus on the real part, like the inside of everything like that, it does mess with you. It can. It did with me. It bothered me. Again, I'm not a therapist. I am not licensed. I cannot diagnose or treat, prescribe any of that stuff. So please understand. This is just stuff that I've gone through and I've experienced. Maybe you're sitting at home watching Survivor Girl right now going, okay, yeah, wow, yeah, I feel that. I've experienced that too. And, which I've had people message me and talk to me about that, which is very cool. I thank you guys for opening up with me. It means a lot. Survivor Girl is a big deal to me, even though I haven't been here in a minute. It is a very big, passionate thing to me, and I'm gonna keep on moving forward and doing the best I can. But back to the whole grieving thing and not paying attention to it. I think there's a big stigma of people not grieving very well, or like they should get over losing a family pet, whatever, like quicker than what you would somebody, a brother, whatever, something like that. And I wasn't taking care of myself with that part of it. And for me, he was ESA, so that really played even a bigger part. Anytime that I would get anxious or have an anxiety attack or anything like that, he was there. So then it's like, you take that away, where you at? So moving forward with that is, if you're a list taker, you have things you want to get done. What is it that you want to do this year? What is it that you want to focus on? For me, there's a lot of things. There is a nice list of things that I want to focus on. But hey, my season's up at Bronner's, and if I could put 14 hours in at a job that I love, why can't I put 14 hours in on myself that I love? So, that means getting better sleep, which is always been a hard thing to me. One of the cool things about my past season, I was able to listen to some different audiobooks. And I listened to one of Dolly Parton's first audiobooks, and I absolutely adore her. I I loved it. I loved it, and she reads the book, so it's even that much better. I found it on YouTube. It was free to listen to, which was very cool. And she's a little spicy lady. Some of the things feisty, whatever she is, but she's got that right. I mean, if she goes and starts with her story and coming up and growing up and everything, and it's very interesting to listen to her. And it was funny because I've mentioned several times, because I'm only 5'1". Apparently, she's 5'2". And in the book, she talks about not really caring so much for the high heels, but they're good to reach into cupboards. And to me, I started chuckling at work, and I go, that sounds about familiar, because I always say that I have high heels at home. I can't wear them out in public. I'll break something, probably a hip, but I can reach things by wearing my heels. And I just thought that was funny. But there was a lot of different things that I noticed while she was talking. I was like, wow, I do that crap too. Like, I do that too. Not crap. Sorry, Dolly. I do that stuff too. She'd say that sometimes she'd wake up at like 3 o'clock in the morning and either, write, do her devotions, whatever it was, but she was awake, and there was something truly peaceful about that time. People are still in bed, still sleeping, other than the people that are getting up early for their jobs and whatnot. But at my house, Adam's still sleeping. It's quiet. It's, peaceful at that time to think about everything. And that's another thing. If you do have a significant other, having alone time to yourself is healthy as well. So at first I was kind of like, oh, I need to go back to bed. Why am I up so early? And then I started to realize I think a lot and I plan for the day. I get a lot of stuff done in those times. And then if I get tired later on, it's okay to take a nap too. I don't do that often. I used to when I was really in the thick of having the adrenal stress and fatigue and everything. So with that, I get up. If I'm up early, then I start to kind of focus on things. I started doing the creative movement, now that I'm able to get back to a routine, and for me, routine is important. Some people can go without having a routine, but for me, I feel like get up, show up, do it. Even if I am staying home and working at home, still get up, have a plan, work on it, and find time to laugh, enjoy, and have be like a kid, have fun, which I have set aside a day to be able to do that. A day. Pajamas, cartoons, cereal, whatever. I'm gonna relive the nostalgia of being a kid at heart. I am. Like I may be 40, but I am a big child. I I still love to, blow bubbles and color, and I don't really play with Play-Doh because apparently I'm allergic to that. It's got wheat in it. Yeah, it's got gluten in it. Go figure. Not eating it, but um, but to find those kind of cool things, to just have, not to be naive, but to go back to having, that kind of that innocence to play and not be so serious. Growing up, my mom would say something, and I still do it to this day, so don't let me fool you on that. She'd say something, and I would make up a song about it. It didn't matter what it was. On the spot, I just start singing a goofy song about whatever. One time it was about scooping kitty litter. Not exactly genius there, but it was on the spot and it rhymed. So she'd look at me and she'd say, "Can't you ever be serious?" Older, and I am more serious. Like I do try to be serious. It is lame. I don't want to be serious all the time. I want to have fun. So I still sing. I movie quotes. I will sing and just be goofy. But that's what makes my soul feel happy. So I do it. And so far the people I hang out with don't think I'm too weird or annoyed by it or whatever. But that's part of being who you are. If you are around people or whatever, or you're doing your thing. For me, it's just be yourself. Unless you're a jerk, then fix that. But I don't know. Again, guys, I don't always give sound advice, but rule number one, yeah. So it's just this year for me is finding the things that I have been shoving in the corner and not fixing, pushing them down and making excuses. For instance, growing up, I didn't have a really good dental plan, and I got to fix some of that too. And it's I'm in front of everybody. I'm doing this show and other shows and different things, and to me, I want to fix it. It's not necessarily about my appearance, but it is to take care of my health. So I'm looking at that kind of stuff. There's a lot of different things that I'm trying to work through. After having the weight loss surgery, I am now exploring getting skin removal because of being at 350 pounds and losing the weight that I have. Yes, still being young, your skin has elasticity, but you have to remember from 99 until 2018, I was pushing 300 and up. So with that long of a, being overweight and having my skin stretched out, it didn't go back as nicely as I would have hoped for. Now, it's not a vain thing. Yeah, I do look in the mirror and I go, ooh, I don't like that. Why is it like? But I also go, but you are healthier. You feel better. You look good in clothes. Hey, that's good. That's a plus, right? But I, not being serious again. My mom would totally get at me. But it's more about the health part of it though too, because you have to remember if you do go in for bariatric or the sleeve surgery or any of that, your skin might bounce back depending on what weight you were at or how rapidly you lost weight. I did kind of lose it slower than what most people would, so that kind of helped out a little bit. But for me, it's about the health part of it. When your skin hangs and whatever, it's just not a pretty thing, and it starts to hurt and whatnot. So I'm looking into that for this year to come up, and working on toning and enjoying getting on the exercise bike, dancing, walking. I love Leslie Sansone in-home walking. That's a great thing. I love going out though. Going for walks, I do those with Adam. You get fresh air. It's great. We are planning on doing a lot more of that. But okay, here we go, guys. Over the past 11, whatever, how many months it's been, I have gained some weight back. And not excited about that, but I'm not totally mad at myself either. Okay. And I mean this because I go, okay, this is something I have to fix. I'm looking at it and I went back to my reset. I'm back down to liquids to get me to where I needed to get. Sometimes it's okay to go backwards to figure out, okay, where did I go wrong? Like I said, baking and goodies throughout the holidays were not a great idea for me. And I know that now. So so I did, gain some weight and I'm not alone on that. However, I feel like because I went through the surgery, I was kicking myself a lot harder because I'm like, you went through a major surgery and here you are. But it happens to a lot of bariatric patients actually, and some gain way more, all of their weight sometimes back and then some. So for me to go, okay, there's 15, whatever, I need to fix this and I need to fix it now. That's healthy. Before I would have just been like, yeah, it's not there. Like, I don't see that, so it's not happening. It's true. Unfortunately, it's true. It's that whole mentality of if they don't like it, don't look. Well, if you don't see it, then it's not happening. No, that's not true. Not true. So I'm working on that. That's part of my moving forward. And yeah, so far it's been great. I'm noticing getting back down to where I was and taking in more fluids, like, drinking more water. It helps a lot. And I get more sleep, like better quality sleep, I'm feeling too. Eating less of the sugar and stuff. It's hard. Don't get me wrong. And we've talked about this before. Sugar addiction is horrible. It can be super hard to kick that. And it's hard too when you're going through the holiday season. You're around other people that eat differently, and that's going to happen. I was forewarned before the surgery that was going to happen. It's kind of interesting because now going back, like it's called the pouch reset for bariatric patients, and going back to that and being on liquids, I forget sometimes that my fiance needs to eat. I'm being honest. Like I love to cook. I love to cook for him, but I forget that. I forget that everybody else that has had this needs to have food. And okay, here we go. I don't take in as much food. I can eat. I eat food, good food. I've been craving salads since having this reset, which is cool. Um, but I forget sometimes, and I'm just like going on about my day, and here I am, second shaken, and did my vitamins and different stuff, and I'm drinking a lot of water, and I'm just like, I'm so used to not eating because of that diet for bariatric patient. And I'm just like, oh, don't you have to eat today? Like, what are you getting? It's fun and it's interesting because we stay somewhere and they make breakfast, and I'm just like, oh, I had my shake today, so I'm good. And I'm used to it now, but in the beginning, I was so angry, so hangry, actually. You'd see people eating, and I'm just like, I want that food. It's not good, but I want that. But, for instance, staying at someone's house and they were cooking breakfast, and I'm like, oh, I have my shake, I'm good. And I don't feel like I'm not upset about that. Like, it doesn't bother me. I'm good with that. And don't get me wrong. Like I said, I eat food. I love food. I really do, but I'm trying to incorporate more of the colors of the rainbow with the produce and, smoothies and different things. Very good stuff. I'm trying to take a different approach. With doing the reset, now I feel less cravings for sugar and more for fruit and for, the vegetables. Like I said, craving a salad. It's been a while since I've done that. So I was like, oh, this is great. So it's been interesting getting back down to that, and also trying to navigate through trying to get that weight off and moving forward to figuring out a new plan on how I'm going to go. So not only have I started to work on that portion of it to get back to it, because guys, too, I forgot to mention this, but for me to go in and have the skin removal surgery, I have to get down 60 more pounds, because instead of getting upset, just going to say, instead of like going, oh my gosh, how am I going to, I was like, nope, I'm going to do this. But also, I stopped and I listened to the doctor. We talked about why. I'm not currently at where I'd like to be. I'm not going by the pyramid or whatever the height thing, like, because if I were to go by what weight I should be for my height, I would be 110 pounds or 15 pounds for 5'1". I think it was last I knew. And to me, I don't feel like that would be comfortable for me. I feel like I could be also, being at 350, I feel like I could be at 135, 145 and still be good. Healthy, like super healthy because I put so much stress on my body being so much bigger. And so anyway, he wanted me to get closer to my goal weight. And once I got to my closer to my goal weight, then we would go with the surgery because if he were to do it now and I'm still not done losing, that's going to cause more, more loose skin after the surgery and it would just be we'd have to redo everything. So I don't want to go through that. He doesn't want to go through that and I respect that. Like I stop and I listen instead of getting upset. So that's another thing that I've been working on. Emotions and things. Yes, it's okay to have emotions, but there's sometimes when I would automatically, we've talked about the chicken little thing, the sky is falling, whatever. I have definitely moved forward into listening and critically thinking before going and reacting horribly. For instance, over the holiday season, we all know I've had some issues with vehicles and whatnot, but on our 3rd-year anniversary, our vehicle, our new vehicle, went out. But the reason we were very good with it to this vehicle, love this vehicle, it drove really great, but there was an issue that happened that was not anything that we did, and it's 12 years old or 18 years old or something, so it's an older vehicle. We do buy older vehicles, so that does bring the chance of having to fix a lot of things. But at the time, we thought another payment might not be a good idea right now. So, you kind of pick the lesser evil or whatever. And so that happened, and we're looking into getting it fixed, figuring that stuff out. And for a brief moment, I was bummed out. I mean, it's our anniversary. We're at our friend's, house. He's looking at the vehicle and everything. But it was kind of cool because I got to see my goddaughter's children, and I love kids. So it was cool to play and just joke around and laugh with the kids because to me that's wonderful. So I tried to navigate that, and then it seemed like every time that they would come in to say what was going on with the vehicle, their heads hanging down. I'm going, oh man. So it built up a little bit of stress, because I still had some work left to do at Bronner's, and it's a little bit of a drive for me. Bless my friends. They allowed me to borrow their vehicle until I was able to get through my season. So, instead of freaking out and going the opposite way, I realized, okay, there's a way. Something will work out. I feel like I am super lucky. Yes, I do color my hair. You guys know this. I'm super lucky though. In between coloring, I don't find gray hairs. It is a freaking miracle. Honestly, I mean, thinking about it, in my 40s, you'd think that but my mom, it took my mom a long time for her hair to start changing too. So that's kind of, I got good genes. So, I do have something in chat on YouTube. Again, we are on YouTube and Twitch, also solidstateradio.net, which is incredible. I thank those guys. If you guys want to go on to Strange Friends Media, SFM on Facebook, you can like and subscribe. You can like and subscribe here too. If you like the content, there's going to be more people coming into the studio. I love sitting down with people and interviewing and just having a discussion with them. Yes, the stories are raw. They do hit you in the heart sometime, in the gut sometime, but they tell their story, and that is the reason behind this, again, so that you do not feel like you're alone and hopefully to inspire and uplift. So on YouTube, it's Adam. It's Adam joining. It's checking in, sounding great. Sorry I'm late and poorly multitasking. Tony is saying you are fired. So you heard that, I don't feed you and whatnot. No, I do cook dinner. I love, that's another thing that's probably weird, but I love cooking. I love to make food. It makes me happy. I don't always eat, but I do enjoy it. It does make me happy. But again, when something like that happens with the vehicle situation, it took me a minute. I was upset, but then things worked out. Maybe some things are you feel like they're not going to work out, but if you have people that you can reach out to and maybe get some help with it, or sometimes it was hard. My pride, honestly, okay, my pride was showing. I did not want to ask anybody really to help, but I had to ask for help. But here's another thing too. Like, I didn't ask for help. Actually, Adam did. But here's another thing though. When I get the chance, I help where I can. Um, it's hard though if you can't be the one that's always helping. But you have to stop for a minute, because if somebody can help you, you're taking away something that means something to them by helping out. Doing their good deed or whatever it is. You know, I that's a hard lesson to learn with the pride thing and not being able to accept help sometimes. But that's why we come together and we form a family. We have friends, we have family, we have different things. These people that are in our lives for a reason. For the good stuff. There's not always great things that happen in life. You meet people, they're there for a moment, maybe they're there for a lifetime. But yes, you have to be cautious and watch out for yourself. But you also have to remember that there are some really great people that are willing to help out. So ditch the pride. I had to ditch the pride myself, and I'm very grateful for that. I'm thankful that I was able to be mature enough to ask for help. That's hard. It's not easy, especially in these times, because a lot of people are having a hard time. You know, it's not easy. So one of the other things that I was going to talk about, and I think I completely skipped over while I was talking about the weight loss and going back to the pouch reset thing, found a really cool tool online, and I've known about this for quite a while. It's called Spark People. I don't know if you've ever seen it or not, but it's called Spark People, and you can get it on the app or you can go on your computer and make an account for it. It's a very cool community. There's all kinds of different articles and things that you can read. They put up there. There's exercises that they share, the community recipes, all kinds of really healthy, motivational stuff. There is a community there. You can read some of their like accomplishments. You can do how many. Say, like I said, I wanted to lose 2 pounds a week. That might be extreme for some people, whatever. But you can choose. You can lose like a pound a week, whatever, and then it goes through and it says, okay, so if you are at this weight and you want to lose this much, then it calculates and it will tell you how many calories are good for you personally. And then you can put in your food, you can scan it, or you can type it in and search it. And then also, every exercise that you do, you can put that in too. And it actually has the amount of calories that you burned by doing even house cleaning, vacuuming, all those kinds of things where you're actually physically moving. You can put that in and it will let you know how many calories that you've burned throughout the day. So I thought that was kind of a really cool tool. And like I said, a great community. Everybody's super supportive. They talk about 5K training. If you have diabetes, you can look on there for different recipes and help support groups on there. It's just a cool little thing. And I wanted to mention it because I was like, oh, it kind of started to push me in that direction too, of going, oh, I like to see when I accomplish things. So it showed me, okay, I did this and I got this far. And for me, that helps. That helps out a lot. So that might be something that you guys might want to check out. It's called Spark People, and it's got like a little spark in behind the word Spark People, and it's like red, yellow, green, and blue, I think. Very cool. I'll try to remember to put that up for you guys as well. Again, I don't always remember when I tell you guys I'm going to do something, so please be patient with me. I'm working through that, and I'm trying to correct that. I think that's another thing. I'm really dry. Sorry, guys. I find that we don't always own up to some of the crap that we pull. We don't always own up to that, and sometimes we don't know that we're being crappy people or doing stuff that we normally wouldn't do. Times that get a little bit pressured can bring out a lot of different things from people, and I've seen a lot of it. and it does break my heart. It I'm compassionate, and I probably have done and said things throughout my life that I'm not thankful or I'm not proud of. I'm not but I'm not sitting here going, "Okay, no, I didn't." No. I've been told and I'm going, "Oh, I didn't realize I did that." So let me fix it. Let me be a better person for a better world. You know, I feel that the meditation and the yoga and these things, fixing my health and taking a step back and, with the social media stuff, there's times that I will hand my phone over to my fiance and say, okay, if this is important, I will answer it. If it's not, I don't want to see the ugly. It's happening. We all see it. I don't have to go too in depth into that, but we see it. What can you do for yourself though to keep yourself straight, level, keeping your self in check? Just because someone says something doesn't mean that we have to jump on it and tell them that they're the biggest idiot in the world. It doesn't mean that we have to even respond. Social media, yes, is to be social. It doesn't mean that we have to be jerks, though. That's not what social media says. It's okay to have a different opinion and to be whatever side you are, okay? I'm not getting into the political part of this, but be a human being. Talk and learn. Learn and listen. I think that's important. And I haven't always seen it that way myself. I mean, I try to. I try to be pretty low key on things and understanding, open minded. So I guess, yeah, I am. But a lot of times I haven't pushed to stand up for myself because sometimes I feel like it's not even worth the effort or energy. I'm not saying that you shouldn't, but I'm also saying though, can we try to be human beings and figure this out? Not only will it be good for each other, but it will be good for your inner peace too. It's just I feel that way. I think getting older is why I feel this way. Like when I was younger, it was let me get in the middle of this, let me do this drama, this crap. It's not worth it to me anymore. And if you can figure that out before you get into your adulthood, even better. Even better. Whatever it is that you are facing right now, you may be sick. You may be taking care of a loved one who is sick. You may have lost somebody that you love recently. You may be not able to make your bills, not able to get groceries. There are things out there. There are people out there that are helping with that kind of stuff, and I strive to be that person. I don't have a whole lot, but if I can, I will. And I don't want to, don't want to talk about it. I don't want to push that out because let's be good people without having to tell the universe. The universe knows. Other people don't need to. It's great though. Do your thing. Like if you see somebody that says, "Hey, I need this," and you have it and you're not using it, cool. Pass it on. Do it. Support. Help each other out. I feel like we're missing that mark. We're missing out on that a lot. And whether you believe that or not, that's okay. You don't have to take everything that I say for gospel. I don't expect anybody to. I just know that this is how I feel, and I try my very best to be straightforward with everybody, to wear my heart on my sleeve and just be who I am. Because I feel like if we can connect on that kind of a level, that some of this stuff you guys will, take in more. So, again, I just want to go out and say, moving into the new year, I want to say, I missed you guys. I hope you had a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. All those things that you guys are moving forward, doing what it is that you can do within your household and taking care of you. Don't feel bad about moving away from social media or whatever it is that you guys are doing to take care of you. Figure out what it is that you truly are passionate about and you want to work on for yourself. What can you do? Going to the gym is okay, but if you can do it at home, you don't have to say, "Oh, once I get this, I can do this. Once I get that, I can finally do this," or whatever. I get caught in that a lot, and when I realize I'm doing it, I go, "Okay, wait a minute. You don't have to have a fancy gym. You can use soup cans, you can use water bottles, you can use all kinds of stuff. use your own body to do the push-ups. If you can't do them on the floor, do them on the wall. You can find all kinds of things. Go for a walk. Laugh. Laughing is good. Laughing helps. It burns calories too. Who knew? Just try to focus more on what you can focus on. That's what I'm learning. I'm going to be going through a lot of different things of breaking the past and moving towards the future. And it's not going to be easy, I'm sure. And you guys will probably hear about some of it because I want to put that out there. It's not always been an easy thing for me with mental health throughout my life. I've been honest with you guys about going to therapy. I still go. It helps me. It doesn't help everybody. It's not for everybody. Just as if, I like to eat, say, spinach salads, you might absolutely not want nothing to do with it. It's healthy for me because that's what I chose for me. We just have to find that healthy balance for ourselves. No matter what year it is, you have to find what works for you. No matter if it is the new year and you are wanting to do something new, but you only are putting it as a resolution, make it as a daily, work on you. Once you do the repetition and you continue to do these things, you can keep on moving forward. You can feel amazing about the accomplishments that you've done, and you can continue to move forward and possibly even inspire somebody else. Sometimes when something happens that is out of our control, it makes way for something even better. Sometimes it's hard to see that, but sometimes that's what it is. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed the episode. I hope that you guys are knowing that I am coming back. I will have more episodes. I will try to interact more with you guys. I appreciate the audience. I appreciate everybody who has supported me and has joined in. I have one more thing. Adam is saying swimming, walking in place while jamming music, hiking, stairs, couch sit-ups. Yeah, all kinds of things. Like, you can use all kinds of things. It really is your mind and imagination, honestly. You can make up some pretty cool stuff to help with what you're trying to achieve. So anyway, I'm happy, I'm thankful, I'm healthy, I'm moving forward, working on the things that aren't so healthy about myself, and continuing to move forward and hopefully inspire others. Thank you guys so much for joining in. I want to give a shout out to SouthStateRadio.net, Strange Friends Media SFM. Please check out the other podcasts. Don't Make This Weird. This is My Brain, and Tuesday Night Rants if you want to. I mean, that's one of my, not one of my things, but it's there if you guys want to check it out. Guitar Fridays always do good for the soul, and there's all kinds of different things that we are bringing into the fold. I hope you guys will check those out. Subscribe and like. Please hit that subscribe bell button, thumbs up, all those things. Do the thing, just subscribe and share. If you haven't shared the podcast, please do. Please share it. There's also a Facebook page for Survivor Girl Podcast. I would love to have you guys come on there, posting positive stuff, supporting each other. And remember, my box is open on Survivor Girl Podcast. I might not be able to always get to it right away, but if you want to talk, I can always try to help in any way that I can. Again, I'm not licensed, so I could direct you to who you might need to speak to. I am a very good listener, though, so if you guys want to drop a line or whatever, if you want to talk about your story, you can send me your story and I can read it on the show. I'm always willing to do that if you want to share to help other people. I am more than willing to do that. I can even change your name on there so nobody knows that it's your story. So I hope you guys will continue to tune in. We'll check out the new guest I'm going to be having, some international guests. It's exciting. I hope that you guys will come back. I'll be back next Sunday at 6 o'clock. And remember, life is best lived.